Hello and we welcome you back to JEE Chemistry Tutor. Today we will not talk about anything related to subject course of chemistry. Today we will talk about one of the most important news that is going around in the student community. As we all know, though it may sound controversial, but it is at the apex point of right now of all discussions. The Supreme Court has ruled out a petition demanding the postponement of the JEE exams. So you like it or you hate it, you have to appear in the exams, which are most probably be around September 1 to September 6, around that week. And that is the schedule for JEE mains this year, and NEET is going to be September 13th. Once a situation like this crops up, many confusing things come to our mind. How are we going to solve this? How are we going to do things in this limited amount of time? As we have been students, we have been there. So this is about how to utilize your perfect time, even though the time is so short, and to do good at exams. In this video, we will try to take a tour of the important things we think we have sorted out based on previous year questions and also based on our experience of the last previous year JEE exams, and we have tried to do an extensive research on the trends and patterns. Well, before we go to those things, I like to say that there is both good and bad news. As is the case with everything, there is always an advantage and a disadvantage. Let's get to the bad news first. The bad news is that things have been made a little bit critical. So always there will be a problem towards it. The good news, well, chemistry JEE mains is comparatively easier compared to physics and maths. But we already knew the good news. So let's get up and let's do for it and let's strive to get the best results. Now the question that first arises when we see the decision of the Supreme Court is how will we spend the next 12 odd days and how will we make the best utilization of these 12 odd days? Well, what we suggest is don't go for anything that you haven't studied yet. Just revise the things that you have already done. That is good enough. If you try to put more things into your head gets jammed up. So whatever you have done till now, try to focus on those and try to get a better grip on those. Try to revise those, try to solve questions and try to solve every numerical problems that are in those questions. If you have not read any of the chapters, just let it be, because not all chapters are always required. Sometimes you can do very good by learning thoroughly whatever chapters you have already read. And since the time is short now, we'll like to tell you that just focus on things that you have already done, because if you start anything new now, you will get panicked, and which is not good for the exam. So whatever you have done is good enough. You just need ample confidence and a sound peace of mind to solve your questions. So let us have a brief review of the important things, then we will come to other points. We have made a short description of all the things that are important in most of the chapters. So we will read those. After this, we will go to what things we need to do. So firstly, we go through this chapter wise, and obviously we will go on physical chemistry and then organic chemistry and then inorganic chemistry. These are based on the extensive studies that we have done in the last 2 or 3 days based on the examination patterns and the previous year's questions. So I hope this will be very helpful to you for whoever is seeing this video. I hope this will help you in understanding what you need to do or which parts you need to brush up at the last minute so as to score good at the JEE exams. So I'll go through serially all the chapters. So let's start with thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, there are lots of things, and first of all, I like to say thermodynamics is a little bit critical subject, a little bit difficult subject to choose from. So if you haven't read thermodynamics till now, I'll suggest or we will suggest don't go for it. Just leave it. But if you have read, just brush up these things. Firstly, what are state and path functions? These are very important understanding, because there are always some questions, and questions are like, is this function a state function or is this function a path function? So those are very important. Then we go to first law and numerical problems. So whenever we talk of thermodynamics, we'll talk about kinetics later, solid state also. All these chapters, always questions, numerical problems are the most important. So you understand the concept and you solve all the numerical problems that are in your hand. Okay, so first law you talk about the numerical problems. Then we go to enthalpy and entropy. These are very two important concepts. So understand these concepts. If you have solve the problems right now, only solve the problems. Don't have to think again. If you haven't understood the concepts before, let it be. Try to solve the problems and remember all the formulas. These are very important in thermodynamics. There are lots of formulas. If you can derive, it's very good, well and good that you can derive, then you don't need to remember. But if you can't derive in the examination hall, there is always some tricks where you can remember the formulas, and just remember the formulas and try to solve all questions. Let's go to the second law. Well, again, the problems are very important. The problems range from spontaneity, entropy basically, Gibbs free energy, Helmholtz free energy, these are mostly all about second law, and always there are some numerical problems from these. So try to get through these numerical problems, to solve lots and lots of problems, and always in thermodynamics solve lots and lots of numericals and see previous year questions. Try to solve all the previous year questions. If you can solve these previous year questions, you will have a confidence within you, which is very important in this last moment. So this is all about thermodynamics. Let us go to kinetics then. Kinetics, you need to understand the rate laws of the zeroth order, the first order, and the second order reactions. So you can derive the rate equations of them. Also the graphs are important. The variation of concentration with time, these are important. So the graphs, just understand the concepts and look at the graphs. Those are very easy mostly. Then you have to see the half-lives, how the half-life is dependent on the initial concentration, how the half-life varies with the concentration. Again, the graphs of them very important. And then we go to the numerical problems, mostly questions, and again focus on the questions that arrived in the previous years. Those numerical problems will be helpful to you. You can take up any book and solve all the problems that you can have. Kinetics is a relatively easier subject, I feel. And then lastly, the Arrhenius theory, how the temperature affects on the reaction rate and the rate constant, and the Arrhenius plots. So in kinetics, the plots and diagrams are very important, and if you have understood the concepts, the plots and diagrams can be done, and again solve lots and lots of numerical problems. Okay, let's go to atomic structure. If you haven't read atomic structure, it's again a little bit critical subject. You need to understand lots of things. If you haven't read, let it be. You can go on to other chapters. Okay, for those who have read it, atomic structure, numerical problems on Bohr's theory, de Broglie's wave-particle duality, significance of quantum numbers, how quantum numbers are important in understanding the atomic structure, the probability distribution curves of S, P and all those things, concept of atomic orbitals and nodes, and that nodes are not places where the probability of finding the electron is zero. Nodes are places where the wave function changes its sign. This is something you have to understand. I hope you have understood. I hope you have done mostly atomic structures, so you know all these. So we'll go forward and then revise all elementary quantum mechanics concepts. Quantum mechanics falls under atomic structure, but there are lots of things in quantum mechanics. Well, you can do those. Those are a little bit important from the question point of view, because sometimes questions arise from this quantum mechanics. If you have done it well and good, just revise these elementary concepts. If you have not done it, don't worry. It won't lose you a lot of marks. You can do a lot of other things very well. And then let's go to the solutions and qualitative properties. These are again one of the easiest chapters, so you should have a good grip on this. You may not have a good grip on thermodynamics and atomic structure and quantum mechanics, but in kinetics and qualitative properties, I feel you should have a good grip on this. And these are easy. These are formula-based structures. If you have understood, you can derive the formulas. You can also remember the formulas. These are very easy to remember. So just understand the concepts of molarity, molality, mole function, normality. Very important. In every year, in always JEE Mains and NEET, there is always a question or always one or two questions from molarity, molality, normality and mole function. These are very important. And if you have understood it, these are very easy to solve. So don't panic. Just go with your full confidence and do this. Also know the qualitative properties, the elevation of boiling point, the depression of freezing point. These are very easy. So Antoff factor. So go through these. How to deviate ideal curve. Very easy. I hope you have done this. So these are the most important things, that qualitative properties. Then let's go to electrochemistry then. Molar and equivalent conductance are very important. Again, easy to remember, easy to derive, whichever one you feel comfortable with. Then effect of concentration on the Nernst equation. Nernst equation is very, very important from the exam point of view. How it varies the difference in concentration. You have to understand what is in the numerator, what is in the denominator, so that if they change, the examiner changes the numerator and the denominator of the Nernst equation, you can change it very easily. The oxidation and reduction. So you know by now, it's easy. So do solve a lot of questions from Nernst equation. Again, electrochemistry qualitative properties is based on solving questions. As you solve a lots and lots of questions, and especially in these last moments, you will gain a lot of confidence, which is very important from this last minute point of view. So solve as many questions as possible. Just take these chapters, qualitative properties, electrochemistry, kinetics. Take these important things which we are telling you. You can also find the link in the description box. So we will provide the things which we feel or which we have shortlisted, which are very important from the exam point of view, and solve as many questions as possible. Do any numerical problems. Take any book, solve last year questions, do a lot of numerical problems. If in a day you can keep 1 hour for all these numerical problems, you can gain a lot of confidence. So that is very important, and it is easy. So you will get a lot of confidence in solving these problems. Relationship between the cell potential and the Gibbs free energy. Again, understanding half cell reactivities. These are small things. These also come very randomly in questions, like 1 year it may come, the next year it may not come. But mostly after 2 or 3 years, there is always a question from this half cell reactivities. So also understand these and try to read these, try to solve these obviously. Then surface chemistry is mostly based on enzyme catalysis. The Michaelis-Menten in the Liouville-Burke equation. It's simple, so just remember the equations. So again, try to solve problems and don't miss out on graphs, because they will give you simple graphs and which are based on the equations. And if you know the equations how they vary with one of the other factors, you can understand which is the correct graph. So just go through the graphs. This last moment, just see the equations, see how the graphs changes. Very easy. So you will solve this. These graphs are the most easiest questions to get marks in exams, because they will give you a graph, and if you know how this equation varies with some other factor, you can do the graphs very easily, or you can understand which is the correct graph. So these are very important way to get marks in exams. Friedrich and Langmuir isotherm, these are important again from expression point of view. Friedrich and Langmuir, not much question come in the exam, so see the expression, that's it. Sometimes they give simple little changes and they give questions, so just see the expressions. Don't need to go through much detail, just see the expression and see how it varies with each other. That is enough for, I think, examination point of view. Then chemical bonding. Chemical bonding, understanding hybridization from VSEPR theory is very important, because in every year, and you can see, you can take up any question, you will always see there is some hybridization question. To understand the hybridization, suppose dipole moment, bond length, bond order from this hybridization, those are very related questions you will always find from chemical bonding, which involves VSEPR theory. So you should have a very firm grip on hybridization, of understanding hybridization, of calculating the hybridization from the VSEPR theory. If you have this grip, don't worry, you will solve everything. Just remember, don't panic in the examination hall. You know, with so much less time right now, you may panic, like what to do, what not to do. Just do whatever you have done. Don't panic, because these hybridization questions are very easy. So if you don't panic, you will always calculate hybridization correct from VSEPR theory. If you panic, you will get it wrong. And if you get the hybridization wrong, then you won't be able to calculate the dipole moment or the bond length or the bond order, whatever they give in the examination hall. So don't panic. These are very simple questions. Take it with a cool state of mind. Chemical bonding, the MO diagrams of homonuclear diatomic molecules. I hope you understand the MO diagrams. Again, very easy. These are the easiest parts, I feel. So go through the MO diagrams, you know how to draw them. Try to revise them by drawing without seeing your notes or without seeing your copies. You can draw it and understand what is the bond order of them, how many electrons fill in them. So that's easy, right? Then we go on to the last of the physical chemistry course, the chemical periodicity. Again, a very easy chapter. How do the different parameters vary across the period and down the group is important. So then we tell you that, okay, electronic weight, does it increase across the period, down the group? Very easy, you understand these things. These are very simple, based on atomic size. Also, Fajan's rule, this is important. This is it's after 2 or 3 years, but it may come, and it's a very easy rule to understand, and you will always get it right. Most of the times you will get it right, so don't miss out on Fajan's rule. Also, Ben's rule. Ben's rule is very important. Ben's rule is very prominent in question papers. Always you will find some question which are just twisted with Ben's rule, like you have to apply Ben's rule, but they will not tell you, okay, you have to apply Ben's rule. So remember the Ben's rule and remember how it applies to the examination point of view, and you will get it. Finally, exchange energy, the concept of exchange energy, lattice energy, and the different scales of electronegativity. So these are the things that come mostly. Okay, from physical chemistry, this is enough. I think, like other things, you can go through it. So take up any book, take up last year questions, solve a lot and lots of problems. That will be our last minute trick. Solve lots and lots of problems. Solve the problems, go to the equations. Just don't forget any equation you've already learned. If you have learned electrochemistry, if you have not learned thermodynamics, suppose leave thermodynamics. Just read electrochemistry and don't forget any other formulas of electrochemistry and try to solve all problems of electrochemistry. That is enough. Let us go to organic chemistry then. General organic chemistry, you can learn the resonance, inductive effect, hyperconjugation, acids and bases, organic acids and bases, the very important questions come from there. Resonance energy, and then the general mechanism substitution and elimination, like SN1, SN2, E1, E2. These are enough. You don't need to read anything else. Yeah, bases and nucleophiles are important. what are bases and what are nucleophiles, what is the difference between them. So this is enough from the examination point of view. From general organic chemistry, you don't need to read anything else. Simple concepts, these are like very small questions come from there, so don't worry about it. Then stereochemistry, how to convert different projections, how to convert from one conformation to another conformation. You can refer to a video from our channel. We have already done that from JEE Chemistry Tutor, and we have the stereochemistry playlist. So if you don't know, just go through it. It is very simple. It will not take much time. You will understand how to interconvert projections. Also, RS nomenclature. You should have a strong grip on RS nomenclature. Any compound they give, if they ask you to designate whether it is R or S, you should do it. RS, EZ nomenclature. So these are very important. Easy, very easy. You can do it. Again, if you haven't done it and if you want a shortcut way to do it, just see our channel. We have already done it in our stereochemistry playlist. Then reagent chemistry. Well, there is lots of reagent chemistry, so we have tried to narrow it down as narrow as possible. We feel that the hydroxylation using alkaline KMnO4 and the stereochemistry involving it is very important. So they give you simple questions and they give you a stereochemical integrity into the question and tell you, okay, we hydroxylate with alkaline KMnO4. What will the result in stereochemistry? So that is important from the examination point of view. Don't forget it and don't confuse it, I will say, because it's simple. Stereochemistry understanding is simple. If you have read it, how to hydroxylate using alkaline KMnO4, you can do it. Don't worry about it. And Grignard reagent, yeah, that is a very important, and that is enough for mains. We don't think in reagent chemistry any other reagent mostly comes, because there are lots of reagents are there, but we think these two are mostly enough for mains. Okay. Then name reactions. These are one of the vast topics of organic chemistry because there are lots and lots of name reactions, and we can say that all name reactions are important because literally there is a series of questions and one name reaction will be always there, but mostly we have tried to shorten it. We have tried to narrow it to the most predominant questions from the name reactions, and we have found that the most predominant questions come from aldol condensation. So aldol condensation, Cannizzaro reaction, Tollens condensation, Hofmann elimination, Beckmann rearrangement, oxymercuration, demercuration, very important. Also hydroboration in the similar context, important. Markovnikov and anti-Markovnikov, which side the hydrogen goes, that is also important. Field of alkylation and acylation, and finally Clemmensen and Wolff-Kishner reduction. We think because name reaction is a very vast topic, we mostly predict that the questions will come from these name reactions. There are lots and lots of name reactions you can also go through, but these are the most predominant name reactions that are most prevalent in all the exams. So finally, finishing organic chemistry, we go to inorganic chemistry, which is the last part. So from coordination complexes, you have to understand the basis of CFT. Very easy. Don't forget, don't get panicked again. The basis of CFT is very important and easy. Joint-Taylor distortion, again easy, little bit tricky but very easy. Then the prediction of color and magnetic properties of these D-block elements using CFT or simple crystal field theory. That is very important. Again, these applications come almost every year. Like 1 year down the line, always this question comes. You have to predict the color and magnetic properties. And the last chapter is a group chemistry. Again, it's a vast chapter. Group chemistry can involve a lot of things, but we feel that only questions are always there from only the important compounds like boron nitrides, phosphazenes, borazines, and the sulfur nitrogen compounds. These are the most things that from where the question comes. So group chemistry, if you haven't read it, it's a vast chapter. Try to read the important compounds like borazines, phosphazenes, sulfur nitrogen compounds, boron nitrides. Mostly the questions are from here. You will not find any other questions from any other source. Mostly these important compounds from the crux of the most questions. So finally, we have tried to do a small overview of what are the important chapters that you need to read, what are the important things that you need to read from the different chapters. I hope it will be of help. Obviously, it will be of help. So don't try to read everything. So just read whatever you have already read, try to revise it, and again solve a lot of questions. Not only this, so also not only the things you need to know in chapters, there are lots of videos and you will find that which tell you what to do in examinations. Well, we'll be helping you by telling you what to not do, because mental health is as much important right now as it is of any other time. Because with this pandemic nature we are already mentally in a very negative situation right now, and further for examination we need to be very confident, we need to keep a very calm peace of mind, because any panic examination will let you down and down. Whatever you know, even if you panic, you will not be able to remember those things. Your mind will not be able to gauge. So based on this, we try to tell you something Firstly, don't call your friends and ask them what they have studied, because it's a very small time. So I know it's very tempting to call your friends and ask them, okay, have you done this? Have you done this? Don't do it. If you have left out something, just leave, let it be. It's not a problem. Don't try to start anything new in these 12 days just because your friends have done it, because you will get panicked. If your friends have studied it, no problem, let them do that. If you have studied something, try to get a strong grip on it. Don't try to put a new thing on your mind right now. Try to revise the things that you have already done. Then go to the important topics that we have told. It is very important. You never need to cover the entire syllabus. You always need to understand what is important. Many chapters, there are lots of other things. So you try to shorten the things so that you know what are the important things and try to focus on them. And more importantly, in these 12 days, try to do a lot of mock exams. There will be a lot of mock exams, or you can take the last year questions, previous year questions. From our understanding of being students and solving a lot of examinations, try to do a lot of mock exams. Like try to solve one mock exam every day if you can. If not, 2 or 3 mock exams. Because as much mock exams you give, you will get a lot of more confidence, and confidence is everything required. So give a lot of mock exams. As I said, try to make it 2 mock exams every day, if not 3, I don't know. 1 is the minimum. So give at least 1 mock exam every day. It will help you understand where you stand, which chapters you need to revise, which things you need to remember, and also it will understand, like it will help you understand what are the important things. If you have seen a video and if you read this, you will know that okay, these are the things which come mostly in the mock exams. So give a lot of mock exams. Again, don't take pressure. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in that study you have done. Keep your faith. Don't panic yourself. You have read, whoever have read a lot. So keep that faith in yourself. Don't take that pressure. Don't take the pressure, oh I haven't read that, oh I have missed that, oh I forgot that. Don't take the pressure. If you have read something, it will come back to your head in the examination. You will not forget it. Once you see the questions, you will get it. This is a common thing that happens with all of us, that we think before the exams, when the exams are very close to us, oh I forgot this, oh I forgot that. Don't think that. It will come back to your head. Just revise it. If you have read it properly and if you read it carefully and thoroughly, if you understood things, it will come back. You may forget it right now because of lots of things in your head, but on seeing the question, you will remember it. So don't take the pressure. Take your meals properly and have a very good sleep. Don't overdo yourself. Don't say I study 20 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 16, 17. Take your meals, have a very sound and long sleep. At least 7 to 8 hours of sleep is necessary every day for your mind to function properly. If you don't sleep that much, you will forget the things you've already studied. So sleep properly, take good meals is very important. Again, don't study for long hours, because we being students, we know many people may say, okay, you have to study. No, don't study for long hours. Study for a thing, study a small thing, take a break, do things that you love, get in a happy place. Take a break, go out, see nature, listen to some songs. Songs are very easy, very short timing. So do something that you like. Don't study all the time. Like don't study for long hours, but whenever you study focusedly, so that your mind is always there and not on the who is texting me or who is there. So don't think like that. Whenever you study with full focus, and that is good enough. Even if you study for 5-6 hours a day and if you have a full focus, that's good enough than studying for 16 hours and having no focus at all. So don't study long hours, but whenever you're studying, study with full focus. Try to take short breaks, try to listen to songs, music that's very relieving to your mind. Also try to reach the examination hour 1 hour before time, because owing to this pandemic, avoid gatherings. Find a empty place and have a seat. Just take care of your health, because social distancing is a must in these times. So go there 1 hour, sit in an empty place and just cool yourself down. Also, after you see the paper, just start answering. And if you miss anything, if you don't remember anything, let it be. It will come back to you in your time. Don't get stuck on any question, because the whole confidence you lose if you stuck on any question. So if you are not being able to solve number 1, go to number 2. It may be possible that you may be not able to solve number 2 also. Go to number 3, no problem. Number 1 and number 2 will come back to you in due course of time. But have that confidence. Don't lose that confidence at the start of the examination. So see questions which you can solve very easily at the start of the examinations and try to start with them. Leave tough questions on the side. This is a very important trick because examiners may sometimes give you very tough questions in the starting to confuse you and to make you lose your confidence. So just do the easy questions first, which you find it easy. No problem, do it. The tough questions come back later, but don't lose confidence at the start because that will make your examinations go very bad. Do the easy questions, come back to the tough questions later. You can do it at a later time. Also, don't just attempt for the sake of it. Only attempt if you are fully sure of it. That's very important. Just don't attempt if you're just fully casing it. If you're sure, do attempt it. Mostly sure, 70-80% sure, mostly do it. Else don't attempt it. Few things that we like to tell because of this coronavirus pandemic. So don't put off your mask in the examination hall because you'll be touching the keyboard and all the time. And also health is very important because many of you will be attending the NWT examinations next week only. So health needs to be taken care and health is the first priority here. Be very calm. If you are not able to solve question in a stretch, don't be worried. Go to the next question with a cool state of mind. You will solve it. Keep faith in yourself. Again, as we say, be confident, be calm, keep faith in yourself. Don't get panicked. You will do it. You can do it. Because as we say, it's not over till we do it. Finally, all the best, the examinations. You can do it. We believe you. You believe in yourself. So you can do it. Just don't worry about it. Don't get panicked. Whatever you have read, that is good enough. Don't try to put new things in your head and try to solve as many mock questions as possible. Give a mock exam. Set a timer. Tell your parents or whoever to just see to it that you are keeping to the time. Try to solve within the time. Try to solve at least half an hour ahead of the prior time that is given. And give a lot of mock exams. Try to mark yourself. It's not a problem even if you get 1 out of 10. But it's important to mark yourself to understand, okay, I need to study these things. I need to study these things. As you give mock exams, get confidence because that confidence is very important. If you do mock exams, you will know which topics you need to read, which topics you have already read or which are in your head, and you can know, okay, these topics I need to revise and again solve a lot of numerical problems. That's good enough. Don't try new things right now. It's an honest request. So remember, as the great Max Planck once said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. You can do it. Keep faith in yourself. Be calm, confident, and you will be able to do it. All the best for all the students doing examinations. And for any questions, we are always there for you. We will always be able to help you. So do subscribe to us at JE Chemistry Tutor. Follow us and all the best. We are there for you. Thank you.